Traeger. I'm the managing broker here in Oklahoma City, and today I wanted to talk with you about how to follow up with your open house leads. Hopefully you prepared properly, you asked all the right questions, engaged them properly, captured their information, and now what do we do with it to actually close them, show them houses, and get them under contract. So as soon as we meet those people, right after the open house if possible, if it's from 2 to 4 on a Sunday, right after open house, we should set up an MLS search for whatever it is they're looking for. If they tell us they're looking for XYZ in this zip code or this price range, set that MLS search up, search for a home for them and set that up. And in that way, as you start doing many open houses and getting many sign calls and working with many buyers, you're gonna have too many leads out there to remember everything that they want and everything everyone wants. So that MLS search is going to be a reminder to you that John Doe, who you met a week and a half ago, a property just popped up that they want. So set that search up immediately so that leads don't fall through the cracks for you. So we're going to set an MLS search up immediately. Then we're going to contact them within 24 hours. If you don't contact them and engage them, you should do it within a couple of hours. You should really do it that evening, Sunday evening. If you don't contact and engage them within 24 hours, they're going to be gone. They're going to meet another realtor. They're going to forget about their search. They're going to stop caring for the next couple hours. And then next time it comes up in their head, they're on to something else. They're not going to remember you. They're not going to engage with you. So within the next 24 hours, we need to contact them, preferably that same evening. We need to send them a message. If you do an MLS search and there's no houses out there that match their criteria, at the minimum, you need to just say, hey, this is Brett. We met at the open house at XYZ. Really enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you for coming by. And then as much as you can, reaffirm what they've told you. I'm going to keep my eye out for a house in this district that has this X, Y, and Z. Reaffirm what they've told you so that they know you were listening and they know that you know what they're looking for. And if you're not reaffirming it, if you're just sending them random properties, you're not going to have much success converting them if they don't think you understand what they want. And so a lot of people, I tell people, engage them even if there's nothing out there. So I've had people tell me, I want this bed count, this bath count, this price, this square foot in this area. And I'll go look and it doesn't exist. There is no house on the market that matches what they want, even kinda, right? So I used to just not talk to them, and then a month later something pops up and I send it to them. Well, they're already gone at that point. So again, I need to engage them right away, every 48 hours or so, until I can get something from them, until they can engage with me. And so if they tell me they want this, 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 and this, and I go search for it and I can't find anything, I still need to send them something. I need to engage them with something right away. So maybe I found a house that has this, this, and this, but it doesn't have a fireplace and it's missing a fireplace. I'm gonna send them that house and say, hey guys, here's one that looks really great for you, but I'm gonna reaffirm what they told me. It doesn't have a fireplace. I know you guys said you really wanted one. Here's a house without one. Is this what you're talking about, right? Does it have the open floor plan that you wanted? I know it doesn't have a fireplace, but is this kind of what you're thinking as far as the open floor plan, or as far as the design, as far as the paint color, as far as whatever you're looking for? And so you can send something that doesn't quite match. Make sure you acknowledge what doesn't match. Hey guys, I know you said you didn't want any carpet. This house has carpet, but it's priced well, and maybe we can get them to switch out for a different type of flooring. So even if there's nothing that matches their criteria perfect, engage them with something. Make sure that you acknowledge what it doesn't have or what it does have that they don't want, and reaffirm what they do want, but you need to engage them with something. Communicate. Even if a house is over their price range, I know this is more than we want to spend, but is this kind of what you're looking for? Is this the backyard you want? Is this the kitchen you want? And that way you can just engage them in conversation and hopefully get them out to search for another house. So understand that you have to touch these people at least 7 times, right? Any sales job or any sales industry, you must follow up with people. The average sale isn't made until the 7th follow-up. That's just an average sales statistic. So know that when you're sending emails or when you're sending text messages or voicemails or whatever it might be, they're probably not going to respond. They're not going to respond until you provide them value. Now, I always tell the story. I met a lady at an open house as a husband, wife, and a child, and they told me I engaged them great. We had a great conversation. They told me exactly what they wanted. I went home and I got their information, and I went home and I found exactly what they told me. I mean, perfect. I thought this is the perfect, they're going to buy this thing. I sent it to them, nothing. A couple days later, I saw another one. I sent it to him, nothing. A couple days later, I saw another one, sent it to him, nothing. 3 weeks went by with no information from this person. Finally sent a property that I thought they wanted, And then she responded back in 20 minutes and said, when can we go see this house? And when we went out and looked at it, she even told me she didn't remember what I looked like. She's getting emails from a bunch of different realtors. She didn't even remember who I was. But I provided value. I was engaging them with specific messages to them. It wasn't a canned message. Hey, Mr. John Doe, here's a property that matches your criteria. It was actual message. Hey, here's one that says it's exactly what you wanted. It's got this, and I'm having private conversations. So I engaged her. I was following up properly, and I was the first one to send it, and I provided value, and she emailed me back, and we went and looked at it. And we didn't buy that house, but we showed a few more houses, and we bought one house a week later. And that kind of goes on to my next point. You have a 70% chance, your chances go up 70% after you show that client one property. You have a 70% higher chance of closing that house when you show them one property. So the goal with any lead that you receive is to get them out into the field. As quickly as you can, go show them another house, because chances go up 70% that you're going to close them when you show them one house. And so that's why you have to know that you have to follow up. They're probably not going to respond right away, but they will respond when you provide value. You have to remember, for us, real estate's the most important thing, right? That's how we get paid. For them, they've got a million other things going on in their life. They've got brother, sister, mother, dad, kid. They got ballet recitals, baseball games, everything in the world going on. And real estate might not be the number one priority for them right now. They might just be kind of looking. So they're not going to respond every single time. But when their motivation gets higher, or when you provide value, or when you send that property they want, they're going to engage you. So you have to continue following up. Know that they might not respond to every email or every text, but continue following up so that you can capture that business. Now, when we meet someone, we want to make sure we qualify people. And this is going to tell us who they are and how I need to follow up with them. Because you don't follow up with every single buyer the same way. And so I want to qualify that buyer every single time I meet a buyer. I want to try to categorize them. And we put them into 3 categories. We put them into a want to, a need to, and a have to. And what really determines this is their motivation. What is their motivation to buy or to sell a house? So if I'm a want to, maybe I'm a single person, I'm not married, I have no kids, I have the means to buy a house, but I don't really have a need to. I'm fine living in an apartment, or I'm fine renting a house with my friends. I don't really need to buy a house. I'm kind of a want to. I'm really 6 months to 12 months out from even buying anything. Maybe if the cool house popped up today, I'd buy it, but there's nothing really pushing me, right? And so you really want to follow up with these people until you engage them and really get out and show a property. You want to follow up with them about every week, but once you engage them, you really only need to follow up with them about every other week or once a month. You really only need to follow up with them occasionally. Stay in front of them, re-engage them and ask them where they're at, but you don't need to follow up every single day or every single week. Next motivation is a need to. This is going to be someone who's about 3 months to 6 months out. So I see something coming down the pipe. There is motivation. Maybe we're pregnant with another child. We're expecting another child. Maybe someone is becoming school age and I need to get them into another district. Or maybe I got a raise and it kicks in 3 months. Or maybe I got a new job and I got a pay cut and I got to move in 3 months, right? So whatever there is, there's a motivation coming down the pipe, but it's 3 to 6 months out. So if I find the right house, I'll buy it now, but there's nothing forcing me to move until about 3 to 6 months. And these are people you really need to talk to about every single week. You need to be touching these people because they will buy right now if they need to, if they find the right property, but they don't need to right now. So you really need to touch those at least once a week. We're following up. Even if a house that doesn't match their criteria comes on the market, we're going to send them something anyway and re-engage them. Ask questions when we send follow-ups. Don't just say, here's a property. Say, here's a property, what do you think of the backyard? Here's a property, what do you think of the kitchen cabinets? Engage them, try to get questions out of them. And then lastly, we have a have to. And this is someone who they have to buy a house in the next 30 or 60 days, right? Maybe I've got 3 kids and I just had the 4th one and we still live in an apartment or a 2-bedroom house, right? I have to go buy something right away. Maybe we're getting a divorce and it's final here and I don't have money for this house, or we're going through, something like that where I've got to buy a house. Maybe I've relocated and my family's not moving in from another state until I buy a house. Well, I have to buy something quickly, right? So this is someone who needs to buy something in the next 30 to 60 days. They're out there. You really need to talk to these people once a day. Once a day, we're having a conversation with these people because they're on their phone, their spouse, their siblings, their everyone's on the Zillow for them. They're all looking for properties, sending their friend properties. So you need to be engaging them every day because as soon as they find one they like, they're going to go look at it. And if they like it, they're going to buy it. There's motivation, right? So I need to find out what is driving these buyers. Why are they moving? what do they need to accomplish? What do they want? What do they need? And when I know what their motivation is, I can categorize them. I can put them on a timeline, and I can follow up with them appropriately. So very important to understand, each buyer is you're not gonna follow up with them all the same. It's important to understand where they're at, what their motivation is, and how to follow up. But know that they're not gonna respond until I provide them value. So just because they don't respond to my first email doesn't mean I'm gonna stop following up. I'm gonna continue following up until I can engage them and get them out into the field, because my chances go up dramatically to close them once I get them out in the field. So now you know how to prepare, now you know what to actually say, what questions to ask, and how to get contact information in the open house, and now you know how to follow up with those leads appropriately, and I hope you guys have the best luck. Go out and capture some buyers.